Evening, everybody. How are we? Welcome. Hope you're well. It is, of course, Tuesday evening tonight. There's Champions League on, but we don't care about that, do we? We don't care about that because, obviously, we're back here. We're still doing what we do over here. We've got a bit of Sunderland on the go. It's been tough, as you'd expect. It's going to be tricky, but you know, we grind on. We're not here for wins. We're here for entertainment and struggle. That's what we're doing. Magpie Tristan, yes, I am back as a Villa fan now. So yes, of course, being facetious, that there is a match on this weekend. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a massive fixture. I'd just say it's another fixture, to be honest, for both clubs. Neither one should really be looking at that as an important fixture, to be honest, in the grand scheme of things. But it should be nice. At least we get to see Unai for the first time, see what he looks like. If he takes charge, actually, I'm not sure if he takes charge this weekend or whether he takes charge on the 1st of November, so we'll have to wait and see. But then again, Danks does have a 100% record, so if he's rolling into it, then you know what? Who knows? It's just one of those, isn't it? We'll see what happens. When's the Villa save dropping on YouTube? Well, to be honest, I was going to edit it tonight, but then you wouldn't believe this. Mrs. J is a bit of a slave driver, so she says, no, get yourself back on and start streaming. So I was like, okay, cool, we'll do that. So I'm hoping to get it edited tomorrow at some point, but obviously we've got the Football Manager show to record as well tomorrow. So I might do a slightly shorter stream tonight. Maybe stop at 11:30, do half an hour's worth of editing, see if I can get something up and running. There's the first episode of Sunderland can drop right now, but obviously the people are sat here, so we won't drop it right now. We dropped the second video this morning. That seemed to do quite well. People have obviously watched that, so that's got to drop. And then of course we've got the Villa video as well. But enough about that. Let's go and have a look at Sunderland, shall we? And here we have it. As we say, it's never easy at Sunderland, is it? It's never easy. We're currently 18th there, 7 points out of 8 games. Form-wise, not brilliant, as you know. We are currently winless in 6 games in the league. Carabao Cup doesn't count, which is a bad result in itself, to be honest. We are still playing that 4-4-2. We lack a bit of dynamism, I think. We're lacking a little bit of taking some chances. I mean, against Rotherham, we were 2-0 up and then ended up having to pull it back to draw 4-4. Sheffield United, we dug deep. We got ourselves a well-earned draw there, to be honest. QPR, I think we should have got a point there. And then Middlesbrough blew us out of the water, to be honest. But a good result against Norwich, drawing 0-0. A good result against Stoke was 0-0. So there are results in there. But the thing is it's going to be a bit of a... We are going to have to start winning games shortly, and Millwall next is probably a game we should win. They're one place below us. They're 19th. We are at home, so we have to take the game to them. We've got 7 days until that match comes around, so we've got a little bit of time to work on a tactic and tweak it a little bit, do some training, all that sort of stuff, try and get ourselves in a good mindset for 3 points. Obviously, we're talking there about Mrs. J encouraging me to play FM. Mrs. J encourages me, apparently calling Mr. Jolly, because it means she gets peace and quiet. Absolutely it does. Mr. Jolly is currently also just playing FM23 with United, as he didn't pre-order FM this year. You didn't pre-order FM this year? Why did you not? If you haven't pre-ordered, by the way, there's a little link. Use our affiliate link. It's £32.05 for the game. You will get beta access as well, so if you do that, it does also support the channel. Ramsey Prop, welcome in. Hello, first time chatting in the stream. It's nice to have you here. Hope you're well. If you are looking for narrative-based content as opposed to victories, then this is the place for you. Lulu Buster, pro plugging. You better believe it. Also, he's a firm believer in happy wife, happy life. God, I'm miserable. Fair play. So yeah, Magpie Tristan, of course, yes, as I say, the game on Saturday could be interesting. Whatever happens at the end of the day. We're not massively fussed, to be honest. It's just another game right now. Like, you know, we could do getting another win, so that'll be helpful, but if we don't get one. Not a problem. This is, however, a problem. 6 weeks for Ross Stewart. Remember when we said we needed to buy another striker and we didn't get one? Probably going to come back and bite us in the backside a little bit, isn't it, to be honest? So he's also going to end his goal drought, which is going to be interesting, because he's not scored in a couple of weeks, and now he's out for 6 weeks and he reckons he'll score goals. So interesting Ross. We'll see what happens. Gittors Villa are going to be good again, not what we need. We're deep in trouble. I mean, look, Jesse Marsch is going to be all right. He's going to come through, get us. Like, Leeds aren't down forever. Person number 3 has noticed that Quaresma has been spending a considerable amount of time out of position. So, yeah, slight bug there, to be honest. Because, of course, this is the beta, so there will still be little bits of stuff to iron out here. We will, however, look at some of the data, because there are a few things that we need to tweak. This is a proper save, no glory hunter type saves. Exactly, Mr. Jolly. Excuse the crying emoji. No, the crying is totally fine and fully justified. It's fully justified. I'm just not sure. Things beginning to look like he's given up. I mean, that's worrying if he gives up so quickly, right? Ramsey hopefully will be good again. His first 2 games of United in the league and cup. Who's that for? Sorry. Ramsey, are you a Villa fan there, are you? Because if our first 2 games of United in the league and cup, also that'll be Man United back in November, right? Okay, that'll be. I mean, we always seem to get drawn against bleed Man United in the cup, don't we? It seems to be one of those things. Just they go right. Well, let's just make Villa Man United. That seems fair. Do that, and then go from there. So you're a Villa fan, excellent. What do you think about Emre then? Are you happy? Are you happy with Emre, or was there someone else up there that you thought maybe could do the job? Personally, myself, as we spoke about last night, I think Emre is a great appointment. I think that that when there was the talk of Pochettino, I was like, "There's no way we're getting Pochettino. No way at all. He doesn't need to come to Villa," and of course he didn't. And then I think Emre came a little bit out of left field. I don't think there was much noise really happened about him. I think the distraction was Amarom, the sporting manager. And again, I don't think that was going to happen either. 30 million quid just wasn't going to be a thing we were going to pay for a manager to break the world record for a manager's release clause. You've got to. We aren't going to be that club who's going to do that. Let's be honest. It's not going to happen. It's not really worth that investment, I suppose. Because if it goes wrong, he turns it around to Villas-Boas, which is not helpful for anybody. Although Andres Villas-Boas, of course, went on to become a decent manager, but had to take a few years to get over that sort of release clause. But then I was always Team Dyche. I was like, right, give me Sean Dyche. But then Emre turns up and I'm like, yeah, I'll have a bit of that, thank you. That's pretty good. Let's go for it. And of course then all of the football Twitters come out and be like, oh, Unai Emre he hasn't got a perfect English accent, what with him being Spanish and everything. And that's all the lols they've got. So for me, it's like, yeah, get him in. It'll be fine. See what he can do, see what plans he's got. We'll go from there. Like, can't be any worse than Gerrard, surely. Clip that as well, by the way. Like, just so, and to play that, just in case it is worse, because I genuinely don't think it can be worse than Gerrard. This, of course, is the pass map from the last match against Middlesbrough. We can compare it against what Middlesbrough did, which was get the ball. We didn't really have much of it, to be honest. Dale Fry apparently played very, very well in that match. So our XG, as you can see down here, is not good. We're not scoring goals. That's the trouble, right? We're not really creating much either. So this is the current tactic we're working with. We're at a current 4-4-2. We have another sort of 4-4-2 with a low block as well. So we can go proper low and try and sort of like grind results out, which we have used against Norwich and Sheffield United and Stoke. Then we've got this one, which is a sort of 4-2-4, which is probably a little bit more aggressive. Maybe we do something like that against Millwall and kind of go at them. But I'm wondering, and this is just from what I've been looking around, speaking to a couple of people. I noticed Daljet, Bust the Net's been talking a lot about pivots, and obviously I've chatted to RDF quite a lot about stuff. He's suggested pivots as well. Seems to be the way forward on this game. So I'm wondering if we make a 4-2-4, or whether we sort of like experiment with like 3 at the back, possibly. Because I think we've got more defenders than we've got strikers. We've got more midfielders than we know what to do with. We don't have strikers, but then again, we're not scoring goals. So what we need to do is we need to get those strikers scoring goals. Obviously, Sims is back fit now. He's got 6 goals this season, but Diallo's got 4, and he's not even a striker. We're having to play him up front. And then you've got 1 goal for Patrick Roberts, and that's it. That's literally all the goals. So the goals have come from 3 players. We've not even got defenders getting goals from set pieces. We've not got our midfielders weighing in. we're shooting a lot and we're obviously not hitting the target a lot. Luke O'Nien in particular is quite shot happy. Even despite the fact we tell him to not do it, he still goes, I'm going to have a go, gaffer. And you're like, don't do that. Don't do that. So I'm wondering whether or not we do a bit of tweaking and we try and go for some stuff. Geezer Dre says, give them the Tony effect. Well, the Tony effect would be to potentially just look at doing this and going, right, you know what? Let's just pull back the posh diamond. That would be the Tony effect, right? Let's put these boys back here, right? Get Esbrand as your wing back, and then get Luke O'Nien as your wing back. Pritchard, Matete, and Quaresma, and that doesn't actually look too bad if you're where I am. I'm not 100% sure that Gooch and Quaresma are in the right positions. Maybe good Quaresma. Gooch as a shadow striker? I don't think so. Quaresma could move around though. Maybe we could change him to a roaming playmaker. Actually, no, we make him as the DLP because he can pass, he can move everything around. He's got the vision. So look at this. So he's got crossing, so we're kind of wasting him by being an inside. Dribbling, we've got first touch, corner taking, vision, passing, technique. So if we have him in that midfield as the DLP, I mean, don't want to put him too deep. That's the problem. I don't want to have him here as the DLP and sort of like being the quarterback, you know. But I sort of feel as though he could do it from here, couldn't he? And then if we move Gooch out and maybe replace him with someone like Parry Roberts, that kind of gives us something to work with, doesn't it? If we turn him as an attacking midfielder, and then obviously we've got Diallo, we've got Sims, and that's something that we've used before and we've used quite successfully. So I'm certainly not against the idea of doing that. Or the other option is we think, right, what's a bit more defensive again, and do we try and do something like this? So that's our defensive setup again. So the diamond becomes like even more compact. You know, so we have like a double defensive midfielder here, or like a ball winner possibly with a defensive midfielder to really start break up teams when they come and try and attack us. Then we've got that option as well. So there's another idea to think about. So just trying to think of ideas right now as to what's the best way to do it, you know. And I'm not sure. What do you reckon? Should we go with the diamond or should we stick it at 4-4-2? This is like the conventional 4-4-2, I should say, sorry. And if we do stick with the conventional 4-4-2, then what do we change? Because we're not, as I say, we're not getting much out of our midfielders in terms of creativity. So tell you what, let's have a bit of a, you know, let's look for rest. We need rest rather than outreach programs. Let's have a quick meeting with the players. Still plenty of time. That's what we're talking about. Get everyone back happy again. Good. So yeah, so look, so they're going to sit there with that. So this is very, very popular in this game, by the way, especially in the championship. You know, the sort of 5-3-2, I suppose. And we could look to build something quite similar. So if they're going to play counter-attack, we need to be quite defensively sound, because when they inevitably pop the ball over the top, we've got to be ready for them. So in the last match, though, they were completely overran by Burnley, which is good for us. Millwall were poor in the second half, but then again, we were poor against Borough, so they're not going to be too concerned about that either. XG performance was less than 1. match passes. They weren't getting much of the ball. They're getting the ball in the deeper areas. So again, if we can keep them here or even here, then that'll be good. So we are going to have to sort of be a bit more aggressive with them and sort of sit a bit higher. So maybe we start on that 4-2-4. Maybe we start on the diamond. Let's have a look at what their last match was. Our last match, isn't it? So everything seemed to come through the middle by the looks of it. There was nothing wide. So they're vulnerable against a 4-2-3-1 DM AM wide. So I'm guessing width. They don't like width. So a 4-2-4 would do quite nicely against them. So we could move. So if we start in the diamond, we can then move Quaresma and Roberts out as into the 4-2-4. And that'll sort of like give a bit more. That'll give something else. You know what I mean? This is just... Oh, this is the thing, isn't it? The second you change anything, it moves everything all over. You lose all your set plays, which is not good. So there'll be part of us will be conceding goals because of that as well. You know, for example, I've got the players with jumping reach of 8 in the area there. Obviously, we've lost Ross Stewart, who's got a very, very good jumping reach. So Quaresma's got an anticipation, apparently, of only 10. I don't think he has. So right, let's look back here again then. So that's that. Everyone needs to just move ever so slightly. Yeah, put him there. That's going to be Quaresma, and then that's going to be Diallo. Cool. Attack-wise, Diallo can be there. Who's the edge of the box? Pritchard or Roberts? Quaresma probably end of the box, or edge of the box, I reckon. Quaresma edge of the box. More defenders getting in towards the goal. Right, there we go. That'll do. How's life at the Stadium of Light? Asks Q Boy. Getting there slowly. It's a bit of a grind, but we expected it to be. So it's not hugely concerning for us, I don't think. We sort of expect it to be tough, and it certainly is tough right now. So I think we maybe sit a bit higher rather than sitting low, though, to be honest. We need to be a bit more aggressive, and also we need to start looking for a striker. So that's another thing we need to have a look then. So let's go with this recruitment focus here. Let's change that. See if there's any forwards coming in who can get on loan. So Yates is still expected to be a first teamer, so that's like an actual purchase. 1.5 mil. We haven't got 1.5 million. We've barely got any money, to be honest. We've got 51,000. We tried to get Yaya Sanogo in, but unfortunately couldn't get the deal over the line, sadly, because he couldn't get a work permit, which, to be fair, not great that, you know. Thanks Brexit, costing me an entire Yaya Sanogo. A jumping reach of 17, he was free. That's exactly what I need. LSA is still out for 2 months, so that's not Not good for us. Barry Simmons, look at that. John Marshall, 16 and 15 for player potential scouting, 17 for adaptability. Barry Simmons, of course, has got 20 for adaptability, 17 for potential. 17 and 15 for Simon Jones. He is 60 though. 73-year-old there as well. £20,000 work permit application as well. Exactly. Money down the drain. Money down the drain, Dan. Lied to. Sold a dream on a bus. I wasn't, of course, because, you know, don't vote for buses. But some people did. So I'll have to say, and we've got no one in the youth system either to come through as a striker, which is really worrying, because you'd have thought, like, okay, well, maybe there'll be like someone there who can play up front, who can be decent. Nah, we don't have strikers. We've got midfielders and defenders. That's it. Here's Harry Gardner. He's the best striker we've got. He's the only striker we've got, in fact. 12 for finishing, 12 for acceleration, and then nothing else. Under 18s. And Tom Watson is a winger. Just don't have strikers. Do not have strikers. Got 50 grand, Dan. 50 grand. So that's obviously our transfer budget is not going to go far. To be honest, they say the mess we're in now has nothing to do with voting on buses. Well, they would say that, Q boy. That's all I'm going to say. They would say that. But we know better. We know better, don't we? Just about to say get Mullen in. I mean, Mullen's about 1.5 million, I think, so we've got no chance of getting him. But we do like Mullen as a human being, as well as a footballer, especially on this game as well. So they're fit, they're hardworking, they take their chances. They've got good goalkeepers. They're compact. What's their weaknesses? Bennett has only got one goal. Keepers don't have great handling. They've not got good first touch. So if we press them, maybe we might be able to force some mistakes. Their passing and their dribbling and their crossing and vision isn't great. So maybe we sort of hustle them and we get in their faces. We are looking to counter press. So that could be something that would be quite nice for us. So let's hope that's going to work to our advantage. Actually, we've been training how to counter all the time, haven't we? So let's keep that going. We will, however, keep looking for players available for loan, because surely there must be someone somewhere available for loan who's half decent. Timmy Abraham, the budget Tammy. He's quick. He's tall. Stephen Walker from Middlesbrough. Harry Leonard from Blackburn. Vincenzo Milicio. I mean, Daniel Jebberson. We looked at Daniel Jebberson yesterday, didn't we? He's 6'3". He's at Sheffield United. Acceleration of 15. Dribbling of 13. Finishing of 13. Pace of 14. Jumping reach is only 10 though, despite the fact he's 6'3". I'm also unsure about whether we can actually bring anybody in on loan, because that's probably one of the first things we need to try and find out, to be honest. Can we actually still bring players in on loan outside the transfer window? I don't think we can. I think we're stuck until December. So if we are going to bring someone in, it might have to be a free transfer, and that is not going to happen because there's nobody decent there unless someone has a falling out with the club. And I guess we can hope for that, right? Right, we're not going to talk about Guy Rowett. We're going to leave that to where they are. We don't say anything about Blackpool either, to be honest. Quaresma is going to be fine. Ellis Sims is coming to scrutiny. Oh no, Ellis Sims is fine. We're not going to make any conversation about Ellis Sims' transfer status at this point either. So let's just enjoy the football match. So at home to Millwall. This is going to be fun, isn't it? The Millwall fans are always good for a laugh. Let's see them come to the Stadium of Light. New scout is in, John Marshall. So ask a recommended signing. First one being striker, please. So here we are then. 18th versus 19th. A win could see us, because of course this is the joy of the championship. A win could see us go as high as 11th. Probably won't, because obviously all the permutations around the league as well would change that. But you never know. You never know. So let's go and give this a go then. We're going to go with the diamond. We'll try that. See how it plays. I think it might give us something actually. I'm basing that entirely on the fact that it worked at Peterborough. And ignoring the fact that this is a different collection of players and a different match engine. So I'm ignoring all of that. And I'm actually going to take Esbrand off and put Kirkin back in because he's a little bit better when it comes to defending. Okay, let's have it. Let's see what we can do. Matete might struggle apparently. Was anyone watching Benfica doing bits in the Champions League? What's the score, geezer? We have to win our home games. There we go. Let's get all the fans behind it. Okay. So Millwall, of course, in blue. Sunderland in red and white stripes. And already there, we've given away a free kick. 13 seconds in. He's not going to book him early doors, is he? No, he's not, thankfully. Benfica 4, Juventus 1. This is Juve out, isn't it? Tonight. When Real Madrid losing as well early doors. Ellis Sims has scored with his face. He scores with his face. He scores with his face. What a lovely ball down the wing. Kirkin justifying his selection. Diallo gets in, and look at that. In fact, it comes off his chest, in fact. He chests it in. And then does a little chicken dance as well, which I quite enjoyed. So that moves us up to 15th. 1-0 up against Millwall. That's what we wanted, a nice early goal. Trouble is, though, Ellis Sims has now got a tight groin, so we don't have a striker to replace him with. They're suggesting Jack Clark, who's a midfielder. He's an attacking midfielder, I'll give you that, but that would mean that we'd probably have to bring a striker off and play with one up top, I think. Or even go dirty strikerless. Good challenge, Parry Roberts. What a tackle that was. It's Quaresma in for Sims. He didn't look like that groin was holding up there, did it? He's playing through it though. So maybe we see if we can give it another 5 minutes. 10 minutes in the second half. See how he looks now. I've got a feeling they're going to come out the traps here in the second half, so we might go balanced to start the half. Just slow the tempo down a bit, try and keep the ball for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something, and then after that we can sort of like try and grab the game again. Kirkin does have a yellow card, so I'll keep our eyes on that. Right, so Ellis is still hanging in there, mind. Kirkin's on a 6-3 and a yellow card, so I think we'll bring Kirkin off for Esbrand. Oops. Blythe Spartans are losing to Bradford Park Avenue. It's not good, is it? That's not good enough. Now, Ellis is starting to struggle a bit now, isn't he? So let's bring Embleton on, actually. He can play just behind. And then what, should we keep him as a support? Could do that, couldn't we? Let's switch them around there. So Embleton goes in support. Roberts goes in attack. That way, that theoretically should plug the gaps, I think, as well. Should. Plus, of course, they're up against these two DMs here, so might try and pull players away from position. We'll see. Pritchard with the ball at the top. There's Patrick Roberts. We have moved, and there's Diallo. Gets his foot under it and loops it up into the air for a minute, but not really creating much of a chance there. Quaresma floats the free kick in, heads away. Number 9, Ballard. Andre Wisdom has an effort. Right, and Matete has got a yellow card as well now, so we'll have to bring Matete off for Bar. Bar's apprehensive, apparently. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's not bring Bar on then. If he's apprehensive, let's move Pritchard. No, let's move Embleton back. Struggling to meet the pace, is he? Okay, so let's bring him off. Let's put... Actually, no, I want to keep it a bit more defensive, don't I? There you go, that's what I want to keep. Yeah, there you go. So... go even more defensive now. Of course, this is the problem, isn't it? Where have we now got too many men in the midfield doing nothing? Yes, is the answer. Shit. That's not good, is it? Right, let's go back to... go a bit more direct. A bit more expressive. We can't really go 4-2-4 because we haven't got another striker. Let's replace someone out of position maybe. There's Esbrand. Good tackle. Goes forward. Goes forward, gives it to Luke O'Nien. Oh, the first time he's kept the ball on the floor as well. This is going to go up and straight in, isn't it? You can already tell. Because they've launched it. It's fine. Wisdom, Embleton picks it up. Just about. Match momentum shifted now. This has got 2-1 Millwall written all over it. I told you, didn't I? I said we were looking so comfortable. What changed? What changed? We changed. It was our fault. Can't believe it. Bugger. We were looking good as well. We were looking good. That's disappointing. That's really disappointing. I thought we played that match perfect. I genuinely thought we had that. I thought, you know what, we've tweaked it nicely, and then it was the second we brought Bar on. Shouldn't have brought Bar on. Damn. Now we've got Reading away. They're in 6th, and we've lost another striker. 7 games without a win now. That should have been the victory. because everything else was playing pretty nicely. Like, so I'm tempted to think we stick with that again against Reading, because it looked relatively solid until that change. They're playing the same system, so I suppose again we go for it. And what did it look like? I mean, yeah, we had the ball. Look at those overloads, working really, really nicely. Match momentum. We were bossing it, absolutely bossing it. The second we let a goal in, it was just like we knew that was the situation. Devastating. We have to go balanced as well, because we can't really go all out away from home. So Diaku's going to have to come in and play as a striker. But primarily because we don't have any others. We have taken these guys in on trial. Michael Folivi, who doesn't look much, to be honest. Hector Ingram, again, doesn't seem to be much. And Matt Smith, who's 6'6", but he's got acceleration of 2 and pace of 3. Evening, Cam Ashworth, how are you, buddy? Welcome in. Nice to see you. But yeah, he's big. He's a big unit. But I think we need someone who can put the ball in the net. And we need to be able to just iron out those little sort of defensive lapses in concentration, you know. So there's no way we should have lost that match. No way. These next 2 games, however, Reading and Watford, yes, we probably should lose these games. But we'll have to have a look. I guess the other option is we take out the we pull Roberts back, or we take Xhaka back, and we have 2 DMs. Do you know what I mean? If it's not going to work like that, if he's not going to do well up front, he's not really, is he? He's quick. He's not got any strength. He's not able to hold the ball up. We need someone who can hold the ball up top. We don't have anybody. So I think we're probably better off with an extra body in defence. What's Dan Neil? Dan Neil can't really tackle, can he? Bar. Only 9 for tackling, apparently, for Bar. That's interesting. Matete obviously is going to be there. And then Embleton's only got 7 for tackling. Corey Evans, that's what I'll do. I'll put Corey Evans in. Try Hume. Is it time for Try Hume to have a little sit on the bench? Maybe. Why not? Let's try that. All very well, thank you, Cam. Hope life's treating you good, by the way. Okay, now remember, folks, we are expected to be relegated essentially here, so don't be too alarmed at this point by the league position. But it could have been better. Expecting a draw, and they're expecting a draw. The fans are expecting a draw as well, which is interesting. Positive. Okay, let's go positive then. Now, do we have him as an advanced forward, or do we get him maybe as a pressing forward and running the channels? We could have him as a false 9. Actually, could drop back, but then is he going to get in the way of Roberts. Maybe he just needs to push on. Stop second guessing it, Tony. Just do what you need to do in it. Yeah. Let's go with that. We're gonna stick with it. We'll stick with the sort of diamond. It was that it was that change, wasn't it? When we brought bar on and we changed the shape. That was the trouble. So don't fully understand why we're wearing blue when Reading are wearing blue and white. Red and white obviously would be a clash of some. Would it be a clash? Maybe not. Certainly be less of a clash than blue versus blue. That's my thinking anyway. Here's Barber down the line. Already on past Luke 09. Tom Ince with the header up over the top. So 1 minute in. Already conceded a chance. Here's Sarr. McIntyre. Obviously, the longer that it goes on without us winning as well, the more concerning it gets, because it's players' morale at the end of the day, isn't it? You know? Oh, here we go. There we go. Goal. That's the fact that it's because we're on positive, that's the problem there. Neither have dropped back, don't they? Yeah. 2 minutes space. What's Luke 09 done? Luke 09's come inside. So I don't get why he's so far in. He's certainly not on the inverted wing back, so I don't get why he's coming inside. That's a terrible ball. That's a good tackle. Matete wins it back. Just looking for another option. There is no other options, that's the problem. Nice ball over the top from Quaresma. There's Pritchard. Can't quite cut it back. It's a corner. This is the thing, when you get into the area like that and you get to the byline, there doesn't seem to be any options for the players in this match engine. They need to do something else other than sort of stand there and then shoot it at a defender for it to bounce up and over. Now, do we want to focus everyone back inside? Do we want to try and push them inside where we've got numbers? Because they're trying to go down the wing, aren't they? So we want to kind of force them inside a bit. We don't want to push up just yet. It's nicely intercepted by Matete. Quaresma looks for the ball over the top, but Diallo's not going to get. Yes, he is going to get on the end of it. Okay. So we trap them inside, don't we? That's what we want, isn't it? So funnel the ball in the central areas. Yeah. Yeah, so sort of like move them back in. Yeah, we need someone up top with Diallo, don't we? There isn't anybody there for the ball to come off. Oh, defensively let ourselves in a bit of a mistake there as well. Here comes Holmes though. Nicely cleared. See, when we were playing a team who was 6th, we're doing all right against them though. All right, let's go positive again. Let's move that. Okay, let's go slightly more. Let's move the tempo up a little bit. See if that works. Oh, how's he got through there? Oof. Get that on attack for 09 and the same for Kirk, and they're not normally going to do that. Norwich Canary, welcome in. Appreciate the follow there. Very nice to see you in. It's all through the middle, isn't it? which is good. So if we start focusing down the middle as well, then maybe that... Do we go wider? We already are fairly wide. Let's go a bit... Actually, if we go down the middle, go narrow possibly. Magpie Tristan with the sub, appreciate that. Very kind, thank you. Go slightly more direct. Is there any roles we can change that's going to allow us a bit more manoeuvrability? If we change that Mazzala actually to a box to box. Might help us. Don't really need him in the in those wide areas. Do a big Ashu. We Can Beer playing FM, listening to Tony's dulcet tones. Celtic crowd of Europe. Happy Tuesday. I mean, there's a lot going on there, isn't there, Big Ashu? There's a lot to unpack. But yeah, pleasure to have you in. I'm glad the dulcet tones are to your liking. So we have a concern now that Gooch, the 09 isn't really, well, he's knackered in fact, to be honest. It's time for Try Hume. We're not going to put Lyndon Gooch on just yet because I'm not sure that he's the right man for this situation. I think Gooch will come on in a minute. We do something a little bit more. I think Roberts has to go there. I think Charisma has to go there. I think Pritchard and Evans go there. I think we have to go for it, aren't we? To be honest. Let's put him as a wing back on support, and then we'll put Lyndon Gooch in for like lots of little wins rather than just one at a time. Yeah, I think I'm all right with that. I'm good with that. I think it's Pritchard who's playing the worst, isn't it? So let's get him in there. Gooch, not really a ball winner, but a box to box. Let's have a little look. Czar just relegated, little battle. Sorry, just played a relegation battle, second division with Sweden. That's where the match engine shines. The mistakes you'll see make it so realistic. Lower league football, you'll love it when you're in Wales and Northern Ireland. I hope so. I hope so. Can't wait for it. That's going to be brilliant. Right, let's move it up a wee bit then. So we're going to change that. Are we pressing? We are pressing. Let's go wide as well. And also let's distribute it quickly. See if that helps. Then we're going to encourage one more time. Charisma hits the free kick in, heads over the top. To be fair, the bad thing about this is a 1-0 defeat against Reading isn't the worst result. Obviously, if it now goes to 2-0, that's when it becomes a bit more worrying. But as far as the performance goes, we've been pretty decent. Lyndon Gooch there, getting the ball, driving up towards Diallo. Diallo back inside to Ballard. Play just peters out, doesn't it? Ball in. Nice head over the top. Right, what have we got then? 5 minutes. Is there anything on the bench that can change what we've got? We've got a tired Ballard, so I'm conscious that we might have to do that just in case we concede a goal. I'd say what, let's put Clark on. So Evans can go back there. Gooch can be the ball winner. DLP actually on support. So we'll have a double pivot essentially, but the pivot will be like quite lopsided. I don't think it's going to be enough though, is it? Sadly. Passing Wisdom. Are we going to get the ball forward? No, we're not. It's another defeat. It's a better performance. Up against Watford next. They're third. So again, if we can ride this little bit of these matches out here, then we should be okay. Evening, Cass. How are you, buddy? Welcome in. So let's get past Watford. Then Preston are 14th, Blackpool are 22nd, Swansea are 24th, Wigan 19th. So we need to win those games desperately. You know, I'm quite reassured from the last two games actually that we're onto something with the diamond. I'm not saying it's there. Obviously, Watford have now got a coming at us with a 4-2-3-1, so this is probably going to kill the diamond. So, because we're lacking width. I mean, Diaku can come back as a striker. Sims is back, right? Okay, so that's cool. So at least we've got a second striker now. Okay, but there's part of me does like the idea of having that midfield solidity. So maybe we keep that. Maybe we put Patrick Roberts there and have Roberts and Quaresma as the and we do that. Have Quaresma as an engage maybe. That could be a thing, couldn't it? Or do we put Quaresma there? Or there and keep it as... I don't think that we've got enough to go up like that. I'm running away with the Eastern Conference and the MLS, so things are going sideways. I might call it a win. Well, this is the thing. See, everyone's starting to do well on the game, right? Apart from me, and that's fine, right? I'm okay with it. Let's keep it like that. DLP. Roaming playmaker. Rach, hope you're doing well. Just watched Dortmund versus City. Not a great game, but hey ho. Yeah, that's the thing. And we've not sort of seen what's been going on. Obviously, we've been over here, but what's the general consensus then? Mishu, maybe. See, I like Patrick Roberts. I think he gives something to the team. But also, I'm worried that we can't just keep playing the same players. Can we do that as a 3? Would that work? Put Quaresma as the DLP there. On support. Quaresma definitely has the stats for more centre midfield roles. I agree. I think he's probably more suited for that than anything else, to be honest. And he doesn't necessarily have to get us the goals, like us do much running. He could just sort of sit there and ping balls around. So I think, I think that's. I think we do that. I'm gonna go with another box, see if it works. I think the sooner we can get Alessi back, that gives us another option in defence. But it's up front, innit? We really need options up front. I think when we created a couple of chances, I mean, Millwall was like, I can't believe we lost the Millwall game. I still can't believe that. That was there for the win. Genuinely there for the win. We were looking good, flying. We settled. It looked nice, and then all of a sudden, we're just like that one one silly mistake, then the second silly mistake, and it was like, all right, okay, now we're done. Now we're done for. Can't believe we lost that match. Put pretty hard in there. Bailey Wright's probably have to go. Actually, no, Denver. Try Ty Humes on there, so he can be the defensive option. Got Benetti on there as well if we want to go wider and try and get a bit more creativity going. Go hard on Ismail Assar. Got a feeling that's not going to go well, but we'll try it. We'll try it. Let's try and hold our shape for 20 minutes or whatever. Nice header by Luke O'Nien there. Back to Patterson. Okay. So they're targeting Luke O'Nien by the looks of it. Get up. That's not a penalty, surely. Apparently it is. Apparently it is. Oh. Well, it's Luke O'Nien on Ismail Assar. They were saying, go hard on Ismail Assar, that'll be fine. Oh. Right. Okay, fine. Penalty decisions look soft. Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do. They might tweak it though. They might tweak it as the more people play it. But yes, I think that definitely looked like a soft one. That's what she said. I mean, they've got so much space out there wide, haven't they? We're trying to force them back inside, but they've just got a lot of space to run. I have to move a player out there to try and cut them off. O'Nien's caught a position. Sarr, well defended. Right, okay. We need to change our formation then because they're getting at us. So let's go back to a 4-4-2 then. There we go. I should give an extra bit of defensive cover, I think. Even Sports Mad. It's going as you'd expect with Sunderland, to be honest. We went 1-0 up. In fact, yeah, you can see where we are now. We went 1-0 up against Millwall, dominating the game, looking brilliant. Lost 2-1, of course, in the last 15 minutes. Just played Reading away from home, lost 1-0, but with really, really good performance. Watford, we haven't really had a chance to work out whether it's a good performance or a bad performance because we went 1-0 down early on to an Ismail Assar penalty. And Luke O'Nien is being dragged all over the place. So, you know what? I'll take him off just in case because it's just not happening for him. He's having a terrible match. 20 minutes in, Ismail Assar is making his life misery. And I'm going to try and force them outside actually rather than... Actually, no, let's get them inside. So yeah, so it's just standard Sunderland fare, to be honest. Gap to our midfield now. Forwards leaves the forwards isolated. I mean, again, it seems as though unless everything's compact, that assistance instruction is always going to flag up. There's Diallo. He's got nobody in front of him. Literally nobody in front of him. Quaresma. There's Ellis Sims though. Oh, yeah, that was positive. I mean, Ismail Assar's getting all the space and all the ball. Good save. I'm not even sure who's meant to be marking him. That's the thing. He's literally everywhere. It's probably the right back, Denver Hume, who's meant to be looking after him. But I'm wondering whether or not. So the right back, Denver Hume. I'm wondering if we put Matete back there and get him to mark Ismail Assar. Let's put them there like that. See if so when he comes inside, I'm wondering if Matete can get to him. Good ball over the top. Diallo, one touch. It's a poor touch. Sometimes this is all the opportunity we get, is that one ball over the top. Matete lets it drop. Well, they've already let Sarr go, so the whole man marking thing's not working very well, is it? Cleverly floats it up. Head away by Ballard. Back on the volley. I mean, highlight reel goal if that one goes in, right? Okay, so again, not the worst performance. I mean, look. I know it seems daft, but it's not the worst performance so far. Just believe. Exactly, Cass. Exactly. Just trust in the process, isn't it? Slowly, slowly, slowly. There's Ellis Sims through. Just needs to stop snatching at things. Getting that sight of goal and be like, ah, that's our chance. Again, just, trust the process. Believe in what you're doing. Ball's down the wing there for Diallo. Can't keep it in, though. Maybe we start pushing up a little bit. Interest, welcome in. Oh, there's the ball at the top. That's what's killed us. Oh. Actually, we do need to move our forward line up a smidge, so let's do that. I am Watoza. Welcome in. Appreciate the follow. What's that sportsman? Been an open training day at the stadium. Light today didn't go. But my son got a personal message from Tony Mowbray. Yes. Well, if we can get old Mowbray to do a bit of Mowbray ball over here, we'll be well happy. This TJ ball's not quite. It's not quite as successful. Evening, Chili Tacconi. How are you? Welcome back in. Always a pleasure. See, so sometimes the ball's just being played into like areas where there isn't anybody there. So you wonder why they're doing that. Quaresma to Sims, Matete on a yellow card. Have I updated the game already? I suppose the game already updates naturally. Sort of everything sort of downloads instantaneously on Steam. Unless, of course, there's a new patch which makes me continue to lose, then yes. I think that'll be another thing. Oh, here he goes. Ismail Assar should have scored. I think we're getting caught now. We've pushed those strikers up, haven't we? Let's go wider a bit. See how that's going to work. Play through the middle. Let's see how we get on. 150 megabyte patch. Oh yeah, they've tweeted something, haven't they? Cass with the bits. Thank you, Cass. Very kind indeed. Lovely human being. So yeah, still 1-0 down against Watford. We will get the ball out of our half at some point. Sure of it. We might have to make a change though, because we've got some players who are starting to tire. Kirkin, for example, is tired, but then the player who can come on is anxious, so that's not good. Kirkin's actually playing well as well, but Diallo's not. But we don't actually have much of an option. Diaku, is the replacement option. I'm not convinced he's a striker, innit, I suppose, really. Do we do that? Do we put him in there? Do we drop Diallo down in place of Quaresma? Let Diallo become a shadow striker, maybe. And then Quaresma can come off for Diaku. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just literally pressing buttons at this point, hoping for the best, aren't we? Who else is playing badly? Ellis, Sims, obviously, Diallo, of course. So basically it's the strikers, really, who are playing badly. Shadow striker, I guess, is sort of what we need, really. We need him to be running with the ball. Lots of young players just making silly fouls, perhaps. That seems to be what's happening here, Rich, to be honest. Dejaku comes in off the wing. Yeah, I'm just looking for someone just to do something a bit different. He's pacey enough. So if we have Diallo just behind him, that might work. Just Diallo start is pretty much running into nowhere. And he's not really, unless I just say we go like that. We go, right, let's try and do it that way. It's like an inside forward. Keep Diallo as that attack forward there, move him across maybe. And then have him as a inverted wing on a support. Maybe try that. But a wide playmaker. Yeah, we had Quaresma as a playmaker in the middle as like a DLP. But he's just not. He's not got into the game today because obviously Watford have just been able to outplay us, to be honest. But there we go. Balls over the top now. Here's Diallo. Oh, there's no way that defender gets back. It's Courtney House. There's no way Courtney House gets back. Do you know what I mean? Literally just changed it and we've conceded a goal. This game, man, this game. I'll be interested to see the momentum at that point, to see if we actually had anything, whether we were making inroads. But you're right, the tactical familiarity is going to be a thing. We won't be relegated, Rage, don't worry. And even if we are, it's even Grimmy, welcome. Hello, Grimmy, mate. We're expected to be relegated anyway, so it's not really a problem, to be honest. Miles is adjusting the Watford sliders at home. Absolutely. Do you know what I mean? It's not a fair fight, this, is it? Let's be honest. But we started to get a bit better. We started to get a little bit better, but I think we're going to get caught again, maybe. Sometimes the players just stand and just look at the ball. Sometimes they go flying in and out, which they don't really need to do. I mean, decent effort. I mean, look, yeah, it's been them all the way. They've literally dominated the match. There's no moment where we've been in the match at all. So, you know, exactly. Caster's hit the nail on the head there. The beta is for experimenting. Wins and losses just don't matter. You need to work out what works and what doesn't work. You know, how do we get a 4-4-2 to work in this match engine? How do we get a 4-2-2-2 to work in this match engine? This is what it's all about. We don't want to be sitting there with just alright, I've downloaded this off the internet, plug it in and away we go. That's boring. You know, we don't need that. They should have beaten us much better, much more than that. 2-0 definitely flattered Watford, but they're second. You know, so we lost 1-0 to Reading, who were sixth, sorry. We've lost 2-0 to Watford, who were second. Yes, we've lost 4 on the bounce now, so things are starting to look a little bit more precarious in terms of like our confidence. Job's still secure, so we're fine with that. That's not a problem. But I think just in general, we're probably we're lacking in confidence, really, to be honest, at this point. So, you know, let's Let's see how we get on. I'm, of course, scrolling back down and thinking, this is a long way now. Oh, God. Let's just ignore that. Let's ignore that. Let's ignore that. 9 without a win. Right, we need something. We need something. Fuck's sake. This game, man. Saw nothing. Nobody saw anything. Right, keep your eyes peeled. Take all the instructions off and go from... go with a clean slate. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we've got 16, right, we've got 16 days until the Preston game, right? So, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Right, Preston at home. Okay, Preston are currently 16th. Okay, so there they are, right? Their current form is... Oh, it's really annoyed me that now. That's really annoyed me. I genuinely think if we get sacked again, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just not going to bother playing FM23 for a bit. I'm just like... Right. Go for a simple 4-4-2. That's what we've got. We have a simple 4-4-2. That's that. Right? So, can you sort players by ability? Yeah. So the majority of the players are in. A couple of players are maybe lacking. Right. So I tell you what, let's have a look then. Right. So let's try Jack Clark then. Right. Jack Clark can go as a winger. Right. Winger on support. Winger on attack. Okay. So we probably don't need the overlaps. We probably don't need that. Right, let's just strip it all back down. Right. Good wingers and fullbacks. We've got a good ball in the midfield, and no is the thing. Matete is okay. I mean, he's 3 stars, so I guess in this league he's fine. His tackling's 13, his passing's 12, his positioning's 12, his teamwork's 13. He runs a lot, you know. Fullbacks, Kirkin's probably our best fullback at this point. If we pull him back as a fullback rather than as a wing back, we've got Esbrand in, who's not really done it, if I'm honest. I mean, they're saying he's a complete wing-back, but I don't agree. I mean, but then again, crossing and dribbling, maybe. But some of his positioning's not great. His marking is okay. 4-2-4 with a solid midfield. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, right? Between us then, let's build a 4-4-2 and let's build a 4-2-4, right? So we'll do that. Okay, that's how we'll work it out. Yeah? So, strip it all back down then. Evans and Dan Neil. Okay. You'll know Sports Mad. So what are we giving Dan? What are we giving Dan Neil then? We're giving Evans the ball winning midfielder, sort of defensive midfielder role. Are we also possibly looking at the wrong position? So does Evans have to sort of be there, and then what? And then O'Neill's a box-to-box midfielder, maybe. So Evans is a central midfielder. Sorry, right winger. Gooch is kind of who we did have originally. Then he dropped a bit of form, so pull him back in, maybe 14 for acceleration, get him back out there. Sims and Diallo, I guess, have kind of got to stay up front really because there's no other options right now. With everyone being injured, we'll bench Quaresma, we'll bench Roberts. And again, Roberts on a 6.71, so he's sort of doing the business. But you know, Quaresma's on a 6.58, so maybe we've sort of stuck with him a little bit too much. If you have a ball win and potentially you lose your shape, is he capable of recovering lost ground? Robertson Clark on the wings. Yeah. Let's get Clark going up. Inverted like that, and then Roberts can just be a standard winger. Winger on attack. Okay. Just general fullbacks, yeah. Fullbacks are automatic. Fullbacks don't defend. Yeah, you could have a 9 going up because Clark's going to come inside as an inverted winger. See now, unless he's just coming back as well. That's the thing. So he's been out. You've got 2 attacking wingers, so you basically need both. And yeah, because obviously once they go up, then there's nothing there. Yes, no, of course, yeah, Rich said that's right. Don't worry, I'm the stars I'm aware of. Yeah. I think Clark stays there. Pings, but I think Clark also pings balls from deep. Roberts, sorry. Pritchard and then Sims and Diallo off the bench. Well, look, are we going to have to go against my better judgment and do this? And just learn how to play, and just accept that I'm going to have to play a 4-2-3-1. Like, maybe I just have to do that and be like, just deal with it, Tony. That's the way that things go these days. 4-1-4-1. How many centre backs have we got? Well, is the question how many centre backs have we got? Or how many good centre backs have we got? Because that's the thing. Pritchard's all right as a centre. He's versatile, is what Pritchard is, right? So he isn't our playmaker. So maybe we do put him in then. And we can also pull him back if needs be and be a bit more solid. He can still be there. Do you know what I mean? I haven't played this. Is there any general feedback on things that Match Engine doesn't like? Me is what the Match Engine doesn't like, Rich. So we could do that. Keep Dan Neil as a central midfielder, a DM on support, Evans on a DM, Pritchard as an advanced playmaker, Clark and Roberts obviously go up top. So I'm just going to call this throwing shit. I think we need some support from the midfield. Yeah. So obviously we can do that, then we can move them in there, can't we? If we need to go a bit more attacking. Is that right? Pritchard needs to help, yeah. So there. And then what then? Evans and Neil come up into that bit. So then it'll be too light defensively. Defensive really works for the Match Engine. That's what I thought. So if you have your two players here, and then just a DM on support with a DM. Segundo Volante can actually work as well on this as well. AP support is nice. So yeah, so if we get that there, then so there's your two, isn't it? What's Dan Neil? What's his passing like? 14, vision's 12. We can do DLP, right? Okay, let's do that then. Segundo Volante makes sense. I like a Segundo Volante. DLP on support. DM on defend. Even James G, how are you? Welcome in. There's big gaps here though between our wingers and our fullbacks now. So we have wing back and defend, wing back on defend, surely. But then again, that's obviously where they're getting caught out, isn't it? So somebody FM on stream has gone, but I had to come here, and I appreciate that, James. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. My Roman Playmaker has been excellent so far. Have you tried? I've tried it on FM23's match engine. I was a big fan of a Roman Playmaker. Did like that. I haven't found one. I certainly haven't found one at Sunderland that'll work. Very few players can do the Segundo Volante. Yeah. Hot climate, low tempo football. Like I think you've just described Sunderland there, Rich. Okay, so standard passing, standard tempo. Go wide, fairly wide, and then just do what we need to do. Regroup. Give the ball to the centre backs. Fullbacks, really. I like giving the ball to fullbacks. Although I think that sometimes leaves us a bit wide, doesn't it? And then what? Mid block. Oh, and tactics wise, no RDF, but I've tended to find the less number of roles, the better. Avoid things like playmakers and inverted wingers unless I'm at a top club. You're going to take the blame. Well, this is the thing. Sport's mad. If it does go wrong, then there's nothing else we've got. There's nothing else we've got. Gonna get sacked again. Standard on both lines. Right, okay, so we've got standard. And standard. Go a bit wider. Low crosses for Diallo because he's fast, isn't it? So he's not exactly tall. Yeah, let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. Training wise, we're not up a line for standard. What have we got there? Sorry. Oh, yeah, because they've changed it, so like that would now be standard. Would be mid block. What's the next bit to save? Then let's stick it in the poll. Do a poll. Rajo's in the. He's a mod. Do a poll, Rajo. What's the next beat to save? Drop deep as well. Now we're at home, so do you want us to? Should we be dropping deep? Leeds University. I can't believe this. We're literally expected to sort of be relegated, and even the board are now going, I'm not sure you've got it in you. I have got myself. I've definitely got it in me to get relegated. Thank you very much. FMB are Tony's tour of the English pyramids. Just slowly going down to like, where does it work for me? I think we take a couple of days off after this. Streaming every night is not good for me, Mrs. J. Right, because we do. I mean, yeah. So we've not won since our second game of the season, so that's what we need to start picking up. But as I said, the performances in these three matches here haven't been bad. Middlesbrough's bad though. Middlesbrough's bad. Drop deep will help with a long ball. Yeah, that's true. What was I looking at? Training. Right. Quick look at the British Steel contenders. FM Beta is trialing the British Steel. Should we just start British Steel now and just get it over and done with? Because it's going to take us forever. And I don't really think it's going to matter as to what happens with regards to updates to the match engine or how the game plays. It's going to be fucking difficult regardless. So should we just do that? Right, let's do tactical familiarity, then we'll do that, and then we'll do tactical familiarity here as well. Press the north end. Do it. Even into the Fox. How are you? Glad to see someone is matching my form. I mean, to be fair, this is the second save we've started. Match day training modules. Right. So match tactics. What else are we changing here? There's a lot going on here, to be honest. And there's tactical familiarity, but it seems like they're being bombarded. If you have a save now, the full game comes out. Will it continue to experience unfixed bugs? I believe, as far as I'm aware, that unless it's data, it'll transfer through. But they do always say you should try a new save. You should start a new save when the full game comes out. So, do it that way. Defensive match day. Where's defensive match day? It's a defensive shape. Yeah. So yeah. So we've obviously got that to look at. So I don't know. I mean, for us, unless they fix the entire game, then I don't really know what we're going to do. Plus, again, like I'm not sure how this has got to how it's got. So we haven't been playing that bad. We're learning it as we go along. We're doing bits of tweaks and that, and we're getting there. And then all of a sudden, it's like, well, we've got a new idea, Tony. And the new idea is that we're going to make it really, really bad for you. So, great, right? Are there specific problems with the beta that are being reported? To be honest, Rich, I've sort of kept my head away from it because there was a load of shite that started getting bad about graphics and stuff, and people saying, "Oh, game's broken." I keep my head away from it. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not fussed. It's not for me to get involved in all that nonsense. So I just kept my head away from it. I'll tell you what we might do. Let's put a friendly in, right? That might be handy. Let's give ourselves a friendly, and just see if we can get this tactic working. Let's play a nearby team. Let's play Chesley Street. All right. See if we can get a win. All right. Seeing my wing back do some really weird shit. Such as what? There's a bunch of stuff, which is why they had to bring out the patch today. Yeah, the dynamic rating with the youth, apparently, for players don't develop by all accounts. Obviously, Wonder Kids just don't develop, which is, again, not really an option, not really a problem for us, but it'll be a problem for some people who play the game, I'm guessing. Let's put Danny Bath in there. Let's take these guys out so that we don't need to have a full bench. Also, as well, we've got players going away for international duty, so they might come back a little bit more refreshed. Ross Stewart's obviously injured, so that's not helping us either. Right, there you go. This, of course, is going to be embarrassing if it doesn't work against Chesley Street. Yeah, now we're playing balanced mentality as well, so I'm guessing in this instance we should probably play a bit more positive, but let's just do it for morale first. Anything more than a 1-0 win, I'm happy with. There we go. Get in. High ball instead of disputing the ball. The players are running away. Is that a thing? I've seen a couple of players not challenge for a high ball, but I've not seen them run away from it. But if that's the thing, that's quite worrying. As I say, the thing that I've spotted is when players get to the byline, and instead of cutting the ball back like they did in FM23, they're just taking a shot at the near post and they're all going to the side netting. That just feels weird. Big Ashley, this game's easy. But this one, yes. Not FM23 as a thing. If you think FM23 as a thing's easy, please tell me what I'm doing wrong, because I am making it look incredibly difficult. Unless I'm just thinking, maybe I'm just thinking about it all wrong. Maybe I'm thinking too much about, like, oh, what would make sense, you know, in terms of football. Like, you know, because I refuse to think of it like a video game. That's part of the problem as well. This is why, like, sort of this whole game breaker tactics and stuff, and meta and things. I'm not interested in it. You know what I mean? Benjamin, well done. How are you? Appreciate you being in, and belated congratulations on the Athletic Pod. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Probably time for one of my professional plugs. The new episode will be out tomorrow, so get your listening ears around that one. Football Manager Show out every single Wednesday from the Athletic. Myself and RDF Tactics, as you know. Less complicated tactic, the better. The players just aren't good enough. Yeah, true. Only tactics I've found that work are the default ones. There's that as well, isn't it? There is that as well. But it's the match momentum as well. The match swing is like absolutely crippling us. So the Millwall game particularly, we were dominating the game, and they got 2 goals in one little fraction of them swinging the momentum, and it was just like, all right, that's them, they've won that match. Then we're like, oh, okay, so what do we do now then? Lovely ball. That's more like it. If we play like that in the Championship, we'll be flying. You say Zara, it would be boring if we'd figured the beat out already. I completely agree, but I am also running out of ideas for beta saves. There is that. You know, there is that. Wondering, you might need to submit to the tactics garage. It's a fair point, Pommy Chris. It is a fair point. I think I should have my own section of the tactics garage. Evening, Cosmo Bob. How the devil are you, buddy? Please tell me you're finding this game easier than I am. Actually, don't. Tell me you're finding it just as difficult as I am, if not more difficult. That'd be lovely. Rangers next. Not touching Rangers. Actually, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. I'll touch Rangers. Like, I'll do Newcastle next. I'll ruin them. I'll ruin Liverpool. I'll ruin. Basically, put a list of teams in the chat that you want me to ruin, and I'll go and ruin them. Instead of like doing a reputation rebuild, I'll do the reputation destruction. I'm happy to ruin any team. To be fair, Magpie Tristan, they've already ruined their own reputations. Millwall. Yeah, Millwall would be a good one, actually. Too scared to play my final in Mexico. A final? How did you get to a final? That suggests you've been winning games, Bob. What have you been doing? What sort of witchcraft have you been coming up with? I mean, what's Patterson doing there? Is this result giving you a false sense of security? Oh, 100%, James. Like, I'm ignoring the fact that we're playing against Chesley Street. I'm presuming that this is against prime Real Madrid. You know? And sort of looking at it going, okay, so this is how these players are moving around. That's fine. That makes sense. Winning games helps with morale. That's what I thought. I thought if we get that in, that might do. Plus we've got another week off as well, so we might stick another little friendly in there. Get a bit of morale, so the players get used to a winning mentality. There is just a little bit slow, aren't there? You know? What a penalty. Be interesting. You can bet some players switch off now though because of the lower league opposition. Yeah, probably. I mean, the thing is we haven't got enough players to sub them off, but we need these players to work at least 45 minutes. fact, we didn't do the full 90 minutes, then stick him back out. We'll pull it back down to balance in the second half, so we'll get them used to taking their foot off the gas a little bit. See how they work, inviting pressure. Oh, James, don't worry. There's you can't really add much more doom and gloom to this sort of save. We've got doom and gloom nailed down as an art form here. So, I mean, that is much nicer football. I know it's against Chesley Street, but that's much nicer. Also, the sacking thing seems to be carrying on and catching now, because Mr. Diz got sacked yesterday, so... oh, that's a good save. That's a decent effort. But you're right, this is absolutely giving me a false sense of security about what the tactic can do, what the players can do. Sitting there going, these guys are brilliant. Just not. Goalkeepers' animations are a bit weird. I find some of the diving is a bit odd. SI has until the end of the season. I think when I left his stream. Sorry, Sai has got us until left the end of the season with Juventus. That's a mystery shirt save as well, that, isn't it? He's gone with Juve. Interesting to hear people are being sacked. This has been rare in most FMs. Not really, Rich, but I think people are talking about it now. I think a lot of... because you've got to think as well, the streaming community and the content creator community really kind of blew up during the pandemic. So it's only been the last couple of years that all this sort of online chatter has been happening with FM in the way that it is now. So a lot of people probably did get sacked in the beta, but probably didn't mention it. Do you know what I mean? And whereas now you've got like a whole bunch of people like sort of following loads of FM accounts on Twitter. They've then got a whole load of us on Twitch tonight as well. YouTube's now a decent thing. So I think people are more, there's just more of it. So you're hearing a lot of people going like, oh, you know, I'm winning this, I'm winning that, I'm winning the other. And people have still got that mentality of, well, I'm not going to tell you when I'm doing bad because then you're not going to watch me. Like, and I think that's what some people do. Whereas, of course, over here, we're very much like, nah, we'll go at the bitter end. Like, you know. But yeah, I do get the impression that some people definitely keep it quiet. Cass says, I jump before I'm sacked. It's a good idea, actually, Cass. It's a very good idea. Surely everyone experiences being sacked. That's James. If someone hasn't, they're lying. Well, you would think that. But again, there's a load of people just will refuse to admit that they've been sacked, or they're just like, you know, yeah, whatever. There's a whole bunch of save and reloaders as well. You've also got to remember as well that playing it online and streaming it is very, very different to playing it at home. You know, like you play it at home, no one's watching, you're not talking away to anybody. Like you've sort of fully immersed in the game. So there is a different way of playing. I'm not trying to justify the fact that I'm getting sacked a couple of times, but it is a different experience. Like, you know, great ball. That's a great goal. Big Ash, you just had my first in FM, played 70 minutes with 10 men and won the game. That is sorcery indeed. But this is the thing, I think for the new version, for this, it's learning all the new, you know, what things do. Like, you know, how does low block work? You know, what are the trapping instructions? Is it a thing? Also, as well, we've not bought a lot of players for the club, so we've got a reasonable squad. But you know, is it still a League One squad? Maybe. Are the players we brought in the right players? Maybe not. Have we had injuries? Yes. Am I now starting to list excuses? Yes. Jeez, God, I got sacked once in a save probably because my transfer policy was signing players with funny names. I mean, if that's the board's request, then I think it's unfair they've sacked you if you've struggled with that. Oof, good effort. It was fun for the season and a half I lasted. So what have you done there? What was the funniest name you signed? Because I think that's a decent transfer policy, to be honest. You're not a real manager if you haven't been sacked. Completely agree, Zar. Completely agree. You're doing well to avoid being sacked with a relegation. With 2 relegations for Rich there. It depends upon the on the expectations. Like, because as we said, the board's expectation here was to be relegated. So just because the job now says insecure, let's still not jump to too many predictions just yet. Oh yeah, I figured it wouldn't have been the board's recommendation for you to like, you have to sign silly players. Like, oh, okay. Learn what's OP. Says into the box. Sorry, what's this year's CM on attack? From what I can gather, and from the things that I've heard, double pivot. Double pivot seems to be a thing that's working quite well. Cass has mentioned already DMs. Defensive midfielder, defensive positioning seems to work. And having listened to Bust the Net's made a great video about this actually as well. It seems like asymmetric tactics are going to work quite well in this match engine. Now, again, the match engine will tweak and the match engine will change and the match engine will improve. At this point, an asymmetric tactic will work quite handily, by all accounts. And from what I've heard as well is that strikerless can also work relatively well in this match engine. But again, ask me in 3 months' time when the match engine's changed and there's been tweaks and everything done to it, people have worked it out. Might not be the way. Like, I don't understand why there's people already doing tactics testing videos right now on a beta, because let's face it, in 2 weeks when the new game comes out, some of those tactics might not work. 5 at the back, definitely struggling to play against. Yeah, I think a lot of teams are setting up like that as well, so you've got to sort of look at how the other teams are playing. So if you've got 5 at the back and you've got 1 striker, then yeah, you're not gonna score unless you maybe do go strikerless and draw their defence out, I suppose. I'll be honest, I'm not trying to blow smoke at my ass, but I prefer watching a stream where the streamer has experience of the game. Your experience of the game, struggling along, learning, working it out. All this winning and trying to be the best player in FM on Twitch is boring. Yes, agreed, 100%, Big Ashy, 100%. That's what, to be fair, I would rather watch that. I would rather watch someone struggle along and sort of like have a bit of story. But at the end of the day, there's audiences for both, you know what I mean? There's audiences for Marvel films and there's audiences for independent world cinema. So I bet you can't guess which one I watch. Yeah, spoiler alert, it ain't Marvel. Right? I think this is the first time I've played 4-2-3-1 in at least a couple of years, actually. Unless I did it as one season as the as part of the Discord challenge. I think that's also I've genuinely ignored 4-2-3-1s. What is independent world cinema? Think like low budget foreign films essentially with subtitles. So like really grim Serbian dramas about a toilet, that sort of stuff. That's what I'd watch. Player roles are way more important, says Cass. I can see that. I think Stinger was in this morning. He's doing some Stinger was doing some tactics this morning with Inter, and that's why I sort of went with the Segundo Volante. I sort of clicked on that because he's got Carrieo. Oh no, that's Buster next. Got Carrieo at Villa. What a goal that is! 7-0. I'm off to find on the stream. Me too. I'm declaring this as a save, to be honest. Job's fixed, isn't it? O'Neill over the top. What about that for a finish from Ahmed Diallo though? Lovely. He's only scored 1, 2, 3, 4. He only got 5. Actually, he might have 6. Might have 6 of the 8. Again, we're not spreading the goals around the team, are we? Larky's finest 4-2-3-1 is a favourite go-to. Started a beater as Sampdoria. We remember Sampdoria from last year. Might not surprise you, no, Larkies. I know it's your first time in the chat, but got sacked by Sampdoria last year as well. So it's and I love Sampdoria. Sampdoria did not like me. But I hope you do better than I do, Larkies. And you know what? Because you're Sampdoria, here's the thing for you. Put this in your into YouTube every single time you play as Sampdoria. Right? You need this. Right. This is my gift to you. A Carrieo is working well. There you go. A Carrieo is an option. But where are you? But you're in MLS with a Carrieo, right? Could I get a Carrieo working at Sunderland? There's a question. Can anyone in Sunderland say Carrieo? No, can't. They've got to be there, haven't they? Right, so that was fine then. So 8-0, that's good. That's a bit of confidence, right? Everyone's happy with that. Okay, and then let's get one more friendly in here, possibly because that's sort of what we need to see. Yeah, you'll love the Boom Boom Cagliarella, Larky. It's the greatest song ever. So our XG was 5. That's the first time it's ever been 5. Passes are good. 475 passes overall in that match. Oh, Big Ashley with the sub. Appreciate you, Big Ashley. Thank you very much for that. That's very kind. Thank you very much. Let's get one more match here as a friendly. Again, just to get... Should do as a slightly better team. He's doing against Darlow. Gateshead. Cheese God, I managed to get my save with the funny names back up and actually a point before I got sacked. Just put a screened up shot of the greatest positions map in Discord. Let me have a look at that. Let me have a look. Right. Part of me was thinking, right, this is here's where we are, right? I was looking at that going like, oh, let's put a friendly against Darlington. There is part of me's going, what if we lose? So let's not put that there. Let's not put it there. I only started I like Channel 4 back in the day. I take it the link that you've tried to put up there is Gazetta Football. We haven't got links on them for Larky, but yeah, Gazetta is the GOAT of TV shows. Everyone knows that. For support, listen to the podcast, watch the stream, might as well do a small bit to help out, and I get a shiny new badge. Big Ashy, appreciate you. That's very, very kind indeed. As I say, we appreciate any support that that we get from the channel. Even just being here is more than enough. So that's fantastic. But if you can afford to do some supporting, then that's amazing. Edward Lurven, he's here, he's there, he's every fucking where, isn't he? Mate, that's superb. Yeah. Where do you play? Yes. That's everywhere bar in goal. If you want to see that, then you're gonna have to come and join Discord, guys. Because I can't post Cass's link otherwise. So there you go. Cass has already shouted out the Discord, so that's what you want to do. You want to get involved on that. Come and hang out and see the most versatile man in world football. So 8-0 against Chesley Street. Matete has just made his debut. Adebayo at Luton is now unhappy. He's on £3,000 a week. He's valued at £4 million. We can't afford him, but they're suggesting that we keep our eyes on him. Will do. My goalkeeper has the same amount of goals in this save as both my midfielders. What am I doing? I mean, to be fair, our goalkeeper has the same amount of goals as most of our team. 0 right now. So Preston North End and Blackpool are the 2 league games coming up next. But of course, we do have this friendly match to get through as well, where we think it might help us again get a bit of morale going. Goalkeeper's got 1. Nice. I think I've only ever had 2 goalkeepers score goals. I had 1 in my Blythe Spartans save, which I was very excited about. In fact, I think he may have scored twice in his career. So let's put Alessi on the bench. Let's put Matete on the bench. Let's put Bennett on the bench. Let's put Dejaku on the bench. Let's put Tri-Hume on the bench. To be fair, Ismail Arbon has just followed, by the way, and as is Larky's finest. Appreciate you very, very much, Perrier. Wonderful human beings. Bailey Wright, Alex Bass. See, because Bailey Wright hasn't even got into the team here because he's just not really got enough. Ever watched Underground 1995? Don't think so, Leo. I mean, we've discussed my sort of film taste, so if it's something like that, I'll probably like it. Guy who's had many beers in Blackpool, please beat those Preston bastards. Should definitely try. Evening, Aaron, how are you? I haven't seen you around for a while, hope you're well. Have we announced the full save game? Yes, we have, and to be fair, we're considering starting it tonight because it's going to take A, that long, and B, I'm not doing great on the beta again. So we're doing the British Steel Challenge. Can I post an IMDb link from it? You'll have to send me it as a whisper, Leo, so I can have a little look at it as them. Because we don't do links on Twitch, I'm afraid. So send it me as a whisper, and I can have a little look. But Underground 1995, let's have a look at that, shall we? So the save for the main save you're on is British Steel Challenge, which means we have to try and attempt to win everything in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Now, it's going to be tough. It's 32 trophies. Obviously, English National League North and National League South. Promotions count as a trophy, so even if you go up via the playoffs, that still counts because you've got a playoff trophy, obviously. But you don't then have to go back and win the league trophy. That's fun in itself. Also, in Northern Ireland, apparently, and this was pointed out to us on stream about a week ago, maybe or something, apparently the cup competitions, some are regional. So you can be dominant with the team in Northern Ireland and you still can't win everything because some of the tournaments you're not even eligible to be part of. So that sounds mental, doesn't it? So there's that. So that's the plan. That's the plan. Sunderland, where's Catamall? You know what we could do with Lee Catamall at this point? I'm half tempted to see if I can re-sign Kevin Phillips and Niall Quinn. Durham are giving us a game, aren't they? So it's 32 competitions to win a trophy, Big Ashley. Yeah, and yes, you're right, James. Start unemployed with no experience and no badges. So you basically have to try and get your first job. So I'm presuming that the first job will be in Northern Ireland or Wales. I'm presuming. So the things like Welsh Division 2, obviously. A group of Serbian socialists prepare for war in a surreal underground filled by parties, tragedies, love and hate. To be honest, that sounds pretty decent, really. It looks like it's got a bit of bawdiness to it as well. Is it a bit sort of, what's what I'm looking for? Clearly a bit of a comedic twist on there. 32 trophies without a second. No, absolutely not. Seconds are fine. You're totally fine with seconds. Film's a masterpiece, to be honest. Yeah, it looks like sort of the producers or something, maybe. I actually managed to lose all sense of words. We're 1-0 down against Durham. No, 2-1 also against Durham. Right. This is not quite the morale boost that we were hoping for, is it? Okay. Fine with sackings just as well. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, actually, we only got sacked three times last season, and one of which was in the beta. So it wasn't that bad. Everyone makes it out that I'm the worst FM player in the world. I'm in the top 5 worst FM players in the world. Not the worst FM player in the world. Yeah, but as I say, it definitely is different playing it on stream than playing it at home. We're here for fun. Exactly. I always say, you can either teach something and win, so you can be an educator on stream, or you can be an entertainer. We've chosen entertainer. You're not going to learn anything around here, apart from maybe like, oh god, yeah, don't do that. When we're certainly not going to be breaking the game or anything like that. So, but we're hopefully going to make it fun and make the sort of vibes that people like hanging out with, and create a decent community. And then sackings are all part of it. Big Ashy, I got sacked 5 times in FM23. See, there you go. See? It's twice with the same club because I restarted and was a glutton for punishment. I like that. That's good. I mean, look, we went to Aberdeen for no reason, apparently. Still not. No confirmation of that. Batzaro, every sacking is a lesson to be learned, but I've never learned from mine. Appreciate you, Batzaro. And the sentiment, I 100% agree with as well. Right, let's make a couple of changes, because although we are having a lovely time, we're still not actually as good as we should be. So let's see what this team looks like then, without thinking Europe might be saving my West Ham job. See, loads of people not having as much fun now. Now once someone says it first, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm not doing very good here. And then everyone else, other people are just like, yeah, I'm not doing very good here either, really. Come to think of it. First season the beta won the league with 5 games to spare. Alright, fair enough. Yeah. Could end up winning a domestic double. I mean, that to be honest, just shits on everything I've just said there. James very much of the situation of going, well, I have won, so I don't know what you idiots have been doing. No. It's very good. It's very good. Well done. There we go. Change everybody. It is with Wrexham. Oh, there you go. I mean, I say that. I finished second with Wrexham last year. Gitos not sacked in FM22. I mean, there's the boasting coming out, innit? There's the boasting. I mean, I'm the sort of player on Football Manager that used to lose to the computer on draft mode. So, but then still ended up being the 15th best drafter in the world. So, but at the end of the draft cycle, of course, but not. You know, so it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Fraser Bernacle gives away a penalty. Charisma finally does what we need him to do. Up the computer, exactly, Ratio. Up the computer, indeed. I think the few fans that are at the stadium are chanting, "Can we play you every week here?" So I lost the computer in one TJ versus the community tournament. Exactly, get us. We've all lost against the computer. It's fine. Ryan Berglund, season one, mate. Obviously we're on the beta, so we've not got too far in yet. Second save though, so just to confirm, we have played the game since the launch, but this is the second team that we've managed. So, yeah, welcome in, by the way. Jumped in because you're also playing as Sunderland. Excellent. How are you getting on then? Are you doing better than we are? We're struggling in the Championship, to be honest. At the minute we're in the we're back in the relegation zone. I thought it would be fun to see a different manager approach it. I mean, Rain, fun is not the word we're going to use around here. We're torturing ourselves a little bit. It's one of those things. I've now reverted to a 4-2-3-1, which I never play. I've tried 4-4-2. I've tried 4-2-2-2. Tried a diamond. We're playing okay. We're just not getting wins. And more accurately, we've lost 5 on the bounce. So we've not won in 9. So it's not great. It's not great. But I'm still looking for the positives of being like, actually, we're not playing that badly. Yaxo Hewley, welcome in. Appreciate the follow. That's very kind of you. So you start off unbeaten in the first 10, then got hit by the FM gods, tumbled down to 14th and won 1 game in the last 20. Whoa. Wow, okay. What happened? Ryan Berglund, appreciate the follow. Talk to me. 13 draws. Are you losing late goals? Is that what you're doing? Because we've had a couple of matches where we've just let things in, and 5 2-2s in a row. So last night we were 2-0 up against Rotherham, and we drew that game 4-4 because we went 3-2 down, which was crazy. Then we started the stream tonight against Millwall, went 1-0 up. We were dominating the game completely. Granted, we made one change, which I regret making now. Lost 2-1 in the 70th and 79th minute. Watford, we just lost 2-0 because we pushed on a little bit to try and get back when it was 1-0. But yeah, it's a bit of inexperience. It's a bit of a sort of lack of conditioning, I think, for the players, to be honest. Lost the dressing room, tossed one too many water bottles. So did I'm guessing, obviously, the fact that if you're only in 14th, the owners aren't getting stressed at you then, even if you've not won in 20. Is your position okay? Are the board happy with you? Right, there we go, 4-1. So Jack Clark felt upset at that pre-season. So you're on a B+. Oh, God, I'd love to be on a B+. We're on a D. Supporters very disappointed. Very disappointed. It's going to be fine. It'll be fine, don't worry. Recent matches is a D. Right, okay. It's one of those, is it? I mean, hopefully, though, we can pull this one around. So this is what we're up against then. So, okay, so we're up against this sort of like block here. Jackson Hooley happened to be here. Enjoyed the layback vibe. Playing as Cardiff myself. Started unemployed, so was shocked to get offered a job in a higher league. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. TJ, you won a friendly with a 4-4-2 shape and then you changed. What? No, I didn't. No. We played. We played both friendlies with a 4-2-3-1. Both friendlies with a 4-2-3-1. We're playing against a 4-4-2, but we're now up against this 5-2-1-2 that everyone seems to be playing at the minute, which we haven't won against. Oh no, we did. We beat Shrewsbury with it. So there you go. I'm keeping that I'm keeping the shape that we've just done there. 4-2-3-1. We'll try it. We'll see how we go. Had a real rough one was against Man City in the Carabao. Got smacked 11-1. Oof. Kevin Phillips backs me. There you go. Don't need anyone else. Super Kev reckons I'm doing a fine job. Super Kev knows what's up. Okay, let's look at this then, right? We're going to go into it. Preston match needs to be a victory, okay? Following Preston's defeat against Sheffield United, could Preston leave the stadium alight? No. I think we're going to have to be... I'm confident in the victory if we play as well as I know we can. Andre Wisdom has had a fine start to his Sunderland career. This must presumably make you delighted as new signings bedded in so well. Yes. Diallo has a number of standout attributes. Many people feel they can make the difference. Do you share the sentiments? Absolutely. No more questions. Right. So Andre Wisdom's injured. But Alessi's back. So that's good. Ballard's back as well for Danny Batt. Had my captain in the beta fall on me after a Scottish League Cup exit. Wouldn't accept me saying it was my failure from both players and staff, then losing the dressing room. It's a tough one. That is a tough one, isn't it? That is a tough one to take. So is this the team then we're thinking that's going to go in against Preston? Clark was a bit... It was a bit sort of like, whatever, after the match against Durham, but understandable, I suppose, really. Let's put Burnett on the bench, so at least we've got a bit of width. Realistically, we should have Quaresma on the bench, really, but we maybe need to just rest him up a bit. Matete, Embleton. I think we just go with that. I think that's the team, innit? So you're not 4-4-2. I can see all your front four roles are attack. You've got no links between the lines. Yeah, well, this is because obviously we've just sort of changed to this formation. So I presume that's why it's not working. Also, we're on wing play. So do we change wing play to just to gegenpress and get it over and done with? Route 1 maybe. Because I suppose if we take the wings off, then it's probably easier, isn't it? But we don't want to gegenpress and just kill it and just have them destroyed, do we? Control possession's going to be too slow. I suppose we could try the wings first, couldn't we? Need some support from the midfield. Yeah, exactly. But where do we get the support from, though? Where do we get the support in the midfield? Because that's the thing. The ball needs to go out here, and these guys need to be pushing up. Try a Segundo Volante on a DM who makes runs into the box. So Neil's got to make the runs, but he can, but he's the DLP. So do you want to make runs? Dribble more? Get further forward? You can't really get further forward because it's a DLP sitting back. Unless we put them there. But then the match engine's picking up DMs at the minute. Unless we make him as a Carriero. Ball winner on midfield, on defender, then make him hold position. Can't really hold position, can he? If he passes well, he should pick out runs. Yeah. Right. I tell you what. Let's keep where we were. Right. Let's keep where we were for that. DM, DLP. That's what they've been training. That's what they've just done in the last two friendlies. Let's see if it works. Coming up to it. Preston, 16th. Blackpool, 20th. Swansea, 24th. Wigan, 21st. Right. So we've kind of got quote-unquote winnable games, right? That's what we think. Even a normal DM will support a build-up play. Right, okay. Noel Dasker, appreciate the follow. Very kind. This looks familiar, lots of red dots on the results screen. Yeah, hello, Dean. Hello. It's the beer, and it's the beer. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's gonna be all right. It's no problem. It's just one of those things. Just you got to try stuff out on the beta, you know. And as I've said before, if it doesn't work again, then we're just not playing FM23 until forever. we'll just leave it. Let's hopefully see the board are satisfied they've tried their best to stay in the Championship. That's what it's about. You know, disappointed the approach taken without realising the club's vision for the future. I mean, maybe if we try and put some young players in or something. If we need an extra striker is what we need. Right, we need an extra striker. We haven't got one. So let's work out what we can do. Right. Tony loves FM therapy. FM loves Tony. I don't think FM loves Tony at all. I think or leaves Tony. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah. Yeah. I think I've got a love-hate relationship with this game, to be honest. I personally like the improved match engine. Players feels like players follow your instructions better than previously. I would say so. Jacksu. Obviously, the players don't seem to listen to anything that I've got to say. So, time to put an end to the poor run. They're not even listening. Oh dear, this is not going good, is it? Tony's becoming F1's manager streamer if he gets sacked again. Yeah. Might just like take a week off or something. You know what I mean? Just be like, have you seen Tony stream? No. No, he got to that point in the beta and he just stopped. Like, you know, when everyone just stops playing the beta. He did that, but like a week early. I was just getting ready for British Steel. Oh! What a ball that was from Dan Neil, though. What a ball. That's better. That's much more like it. Now Preston have had a second shot, though. That's the problem. Tony's with us forever. He needs a bit of therapy himself. Yeah, like you wouldn't believe. Bauer, Lindsay, Whiteman. Parrott. Yeah, I was going to say, if that goes in, I'd be pissed at that. Fimosi. Let's go back to balanced, actually. I'm seeing if FM made change about club finances when they go bad. In what sense, Eddie? Yeah, well, that's nice. Ballard intercepting. There's Alessi back after injury. Nice to see him back. A bit more ability in defence, but of course he left his man. I was hard struggling myself when I started in Cardiff. 5 losses in 7 matches, a few draws, E- rating. Eventually managed to pull it off. Now fighting for a playoff spot. See, this is the thing, Jacksu. I believe in the long-term vision. Do the board, do the fans. That's the question. You know, can I get them back on side? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, Preston have got all the ball. This didn't happen against Chesley Street. Right, let's push them up then. Not sure if the wing play is working, as everything seems to be coming through the middle for Preston. It's Kirk and Roberts. Inside. Oh! Jack Clark gives us the goal. No! Has he disallowed it? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sunderland sitting 10th with 8 games left. They've got a decent team. I mean, I think we've got a decent team here. But it's just that thing, innit, of just having a decent team and then making it count. You know, I reckon get a couple of wins under our belt and we'll be all right. As I say, these next 4 games should theoretically be winnable, or at least get some points. Like that, for example. What a goal that is from Patrick Roberts. What a ball from Alessi as well. He's come back. Roberts gets on his bike. Looks up, thinks, shall I have a shot? This time this is when you take a shot at the near post, that's how you should do it, not the normal time of getting to that position and just smash it into the side netting. That is a brilliant goal. And it lifts us out of the relegation zone at this point as well. For now. Kirk into Diallo. One touch doesn't quite get him around the defender. Might have to hold our shape a little bit though. Hull beating Luton 3-0, 3-1. That'll do it. Luke 09, Jack Clark 09 to the back post. Kirkin with the effort. Now the trouble is we are going to have to start pulling back a smidge, because we know that despite the fact we've got the ball, despite the fact we're pressing, there is always that 85th minute, isn't there? 85th minute long ball is coming. Evans, great ball. Diallo's away. Chat, you guys have done this. You've all done this, not me. If this is a win, you all get the praise, not me. What a finish by Diallo. Strange goalkeeping animation, mind, but that'll do. Sports mad, this is all on you, brother. Well, child awake. Child awake. Alright. Ball in. See if Mrs. J is coming. I'm not sure, maybe she is. Dad Dewey's coming, exactly, yeah. It's a possibility, isn't it? Ball's over the top. Jack Clark's away. Ooh. Maybe he's like, hey, Daddy, are you winning? Are you actually winning a football match? Anyway, heads away. Oh God, I'm glad that camera angle changed. That looked like it was nesting in the bottom corner there, to be honest. Passing gets down, launches it. Yeah, that sounds like a child. 2 seconds. Yeah. We've won a match. I think he's happy. So what we'll do now is we're gonna. Oh, okay, don't worry. There. Right. You want to go downstairs? Okay, we'll go downstairs. Yeah, we'll go and do that. Right. Let's go. Like, let's say well done to everybody for obviously helping us with our tactic and making it better. And we will go and raid into... Let's see who's on tonight. Let's go and see McKinn's, because it looks like he's on a different save now. Let's ask him why he's on a different... so did I say McKinn's or did I say Owen? Let's go and see how we roll Owen, and we're going to ask him why he is at a different club when he started. So I've got a feeling he might have been sacked actually. So, right. Thank you for helping me fix my tactic, and we will see you all tomorrow. Remember, the Football Manager show is available tomorrow, so keep your eyes peeled on that. Actually, no, Owen's gone off. Let's go and hang out with McKinn's. We'll see McKinn's. Right. See you guys all soon. What? I know, we're going to go downstairs in a second, mate. We're just going to got to do a raid now, okay? So let's do this. There's McKinn's there, right? McKinn's FM. Right. It's still not working, it's still not working. Why is it not having it? There you go. Let's do it this way.
More flustered than usual, having been delayed by an aggressive charity fundraiser, drawn into an unwanted conversation about the second coming, to signed up for a subscription.
Better technically.
Right. Sorry, 2 seconds, Pip.
Physically, probably. One less on the flare.
There we go. Now it's working. Right. Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye now.